Don't be gay, Phantom.
Don't be gay, Campia. Now, someone's
Don't
going
be
to do
Phantom
that today.
Campia.
Hello, everybody. It is Sunday. You know what that means. It's another exciting episode of Matinee with the Homies. And before we get started introducing everybody, we've been doing this for the last couple of days. Once again, please send your prayers and your well wishes to APF. Right now, he's dealing with a lot of behind the scenes stuff with his family. So make sure you get a chance, go wish him and Jess some, well wishes and send your prayers and love. Other than that, thank you guys for tuning in last night for Gaming with the Homies, and let's get on with the show. Atomic, the good producer, the very best of the producers. How's it going?
Going good, man. Happy to be here.
Campia, evil
Fucking
Campia
Nagger now over there.
Campia has returned. Evil Campia.
Evil Campia here, as he said. We're going to be doing. We're going to be praying for ABF and his family. However, today we are doing Robin Hood movies, and we'll be discussing the different versions, how they affect each other. Of course, some of the good, some of the bad, and we're just going to talk about movies we really enjoy when it comes to that. So, Ronan, how are you doing today?
I'm doing well, it could be better, but it doesn't matter anyways. We're here now. We're going to be having a good time discussing this stuff. Hello, everybody. Y'all know who I am. I'm Ronan the Crusader, as always. Yes, we are having the discussion on Robin Hood, all the movies, all the adaptations and everything that we have seen so far on the silver screen and on the little screen. Because I've actually noticed there's a lot more like television shows about Robin Hood than there are movies, I think. So, yeah.
So to start us off, like I do, thing is about Robin Hood is it's kind of half historical, half not. So I want to ask you the Robin Hood lore. Instead of what movie do you remember, or what TV show do you remember from? What is your first inkling into the Robin Hood mythos itself? AP.
That's well, I learned about the Robin Hood mythos from the Disney movie. That was what I learned it from. And it was very fascinating, and I wasn't the most invested into it initially, but over the last especially 5 years, I've been far more interested in it and far more, like wanting to watch Robin Hood movies, and honestly, same with like others, like fairy tales and stuff like that, and like not fairy tales, but like grand, like
historical fiction,
historical fiction, and all that. And so that's really was that Disney movie was the first one, and then of course Men in Tights. But
he watched the Disney movie and then he watched it again, and his heart grew 3 sizes that day. What about you, Ronan?
To be honest, I think the first time I've ever actually known anything at all in regards to like Robin Hood, I think it has to be the Shrek movie, like the very first Shrek movie when they introduced Robin Hood and he's trying to. Yep,
I forgot about that, Ronan. I forgot about that.
I would say that's probably the first time I've ever even heard of Robin Hood, or at least as far as I can remember. And then after that, I heard about like the Disney movie with the fox as Robin Hood and all the other anthropomorphic animals, and then I started hearing about a bunch of other ones. I'd never seen it. I don't know. There's something about Robin Hood that it's not that I don't find the story interesting. It's an interesting kind of like hero's journey, like stealing from the rich, give to the needy kind of thing. But I was never really interested in it, to be honest. Like other characters that wielded bows, like somebody like Green Arrow or Hawkeye, yes, those are more modern creations. But like I was a little bit more interested in those kinds of characters, especially Green Arrow, because I grew up watching Justice League, and whenever he showed up every now and then to help out the rest of the heroes, I was like, oh, this guy's cool. Like he's trying to like keep up with these other heroes, and all he's doing right now is just wielding a bow, but he's still kicking ass. I'm like, all right, I like it, but that's pretty much it. To that extent, that's all that I really know about Robin Hood until I finally started learning more.
I'll be honest with you, that's kind of what I thought he was going to say. I figured he was going to say the Arrow show was his first introduction to that type of story.
That wasn't the first, but that was one of the most prominent, I will say.
What about you, Phantom? What
It'd be the Arrow
back in the 1500s.
Fuck you. For me, like my first thing, Robin Hood would be the Errol Flynn movie. the adventures of Robin Hood. But what draw me into the character even more is the Disney cartoon of Robin Hood. Like then I went back and read the books, so I read the stories and stuff, and yeah, like Robin Hood. Robin Hood is like one of my favorite lyric characters of all time, hands down. He's one of my favorite. His
That's awesome.
adventures his adventures, the characters like Lil John, the Merry Men, and stuff like that, and the Sheriff of Nottingham, and like love the stories. Love the stories.
It's kind of similar to me, except for I'll say the story of King Richard, the Lionheart, was more that right there was where I got into like learning about King Richard led me to the Robin Hood stories and stuff like that during school. And like Phantom said, like at school, I think we watched the Errol Flynn movie for the first time. I think we watched the Sean Connery one, Robin and Marion. So it's like the cartoon is probably the most prolific when it comes to my life, but those were also one of the first times I've seen them. The thing about, like, I hate to say it, Robin Hood with Errol Flynn that got me different was I was more into the Zorro stories when it comes to sword buggy swashbuckling. So that's where I've got my start with it. Going into this though, we've seen different versions of Robin Hood. When a filmmaker decides to make a Robin Hood movie that chooses between, you got the Errol Flynn swashbuckling, bright, like hello ho, everybody, we're doing the good deed, to now we're getting movies like the Death of Robin Hood, which is like gritty, dark. You've got the Russell Crowe ones that was really gritty as well. Do you think that's a good thing or a bad thing that we're going more from swashbuckling to gritty, or does one have a place over the other?
Well, okay, let me ask this, because I know we're going to talk about it once we get further into the show. But the Kevin Costner one that we had watched on Friday night for the watch along, which, by the way, if y'all are interested, join the Discord to join in on the watch along. Anyways, shameless plug over.
Shut
up, let him chill.
What would we describe that one exactly as? Would that one
would be kind of in between.
Muddy? It is in between.
I would consider that in between, because you get the swashbuckling, he's trying to do good for good sake, but you also get the grittiness, the killing, I would say that one's a good medium. Like you going from, like, how do I put this? Like, we look at Batman, going from Adam West Batman to Michael Keaton Batman to the Dark Knight Batman. It's kind of like that. It's a good little stepping stone.
Now that I think about it, now that you describe it that way, because I even was thinking back to it, like, okay, spoilers for everybody, of course, here for a decades-old movie.
35-year-old movie.
35-year-old movie. Sean Connery comes back as King Richard to basically bless the wedding between Robin and Maid Marian. And when he showed up, it almost felt like this could be something that could have come after Excalibur, like the 1980s film, like Excalibur. Like, that's what it felt like. This feels like it takes place long after the events of Arthur Pendragon and all of that kind of stuff. It has that sort of like feeling that it's almost mythical, but that was the time of, like, myth and legend. Now this is a little bit more of,
well, they play on that. They play on that. We'll get into that, but they do play on that in this movie.
What I mean to say is that the aesthetic of it does feel like you said, it combines both, like, the fanciful swashbuckling, high fantasy, let's put it that way, along with the more dirty, muddy, low fantasy, especially considering how when they're in Sherwood Forest, they're literally building like mud huts and straw roofs and everything like that. So it feels like it's a nice blend of the two.
Well, I agree with you. I mean, we'll go into it when we review the movie, but I agree with you. You kind of get a mixture of the two throughout the movie when the movie goes. But the thing is about it's like we had the swashbuckler, and I think we get to a point where it was like the 91 movie, I would say, brought forth like Pirates of the Caribbean and stuff like that, where you're getting more of the fantastical. And I feel like people might have been getting tired of that. And you can see that in like the third Pirates movie. And they started to go more towards the darker versions, hence the Russell Crowe one, which was like a melodramatic as hell. and even the Taron Egerton that was done in 2018. It's more a parkour action movie than it is a Robin Hood story.
Well, okay, I guess that's sort of the criticism I would have with that. People didn't like some of the, fantasy, fantastical elements in it, so they decide to go towards the more grounded stuff. My criticism with that then is that we end up getting the logical conclusion, which is the death of Robin Hood that just came out this year with Hugh Jackman and everything.
It did not do well, and the reviews are not good.
That's what I mean, is that I understand people might find that stuff to be silly and outdated and whatnot, but unfortunately, Hollywood always seems to kind of just veer towards the extremes. For some reason, they can't find that middle ground like they did with the 91 film. So we end up getting Death of Robin Hood, where now you just take the cynicism to such an extreme level, which I think we're long overdue now to try and go back maybe to even the more fanciful levels we saw with Men in Tights. I'm not saying it has to be pure comedy, but at least give us something a little more bright.
You're right in the fact that it feels like they've went so far dark that they're pushing people away,
right?
And it's not getting what they're supposed to. Like, look at the oh my god, I forgot the name of the movie. The Elordi Frankenstein movie was real dark, real. And I think this movie was made about the same time, and they were doing the same thing. Like, let's get dark. Look, this movie did well on Netflix. Let's put it out.
But it can't be on top of that. I'll say movies like Frankenstein, I think they work a little more grittier and darker. But movies like Robin Hood, the characters like Robin Hood, I feel like they should be a little more like there should be a more levity to them, more like an upbeat tone to them,
more family friendly,
bitter, like.
For what the tale is supposed to be and the overall message of the tale, yes, I feel there needs to be some more hope to it. Go ahead, Phantom.
So, like, the thing is like Prince John and the Sheriff of Nottingham are literally comedic villains in the story. Like, Robin Hood is the ultimate good guy, and they're like, he's their foil, right? Every time they do a plan, they're going to try to take out King Richard coming back. He finds out, and he's the thorn in their side that prevents them from assassinating the king when they find out he's coming back to England. Like in like other movies, the Errol Flynn movies, that they send out assassins and stuff. He finds out, he goes out there and stops them. So going back to your question, Campia, like the reason why, like the Errol Flynn movie, you gotta look at the time, right? It was the 40s when that came out, late 40s.
38.
Okay, I'm about to say right at 40.
So like the thing is, like, the archetype of Robin Hood himself actually came from that movie. Like in the books and stuff, you really don't get, like, you get an idea of how, like, who he was, and that he dressed in the cloak. That's how he got Robin of the Hood, right? Robin Hood. Yep. And then like after Errol Flynn's movie, you start seeing them copying the look from Errol Flynn. That's the reason why Green Arrow looks like Errol Flynn's Robin Hood. Why? Because it's the costume, it's the hat, the quiver, the bow. Like literally, he's I hate to say this, I love Green Arrow, but Green Arrow is a ripoff of Robin Hood. 100%.
You're kidding.
100%. It's 100%.
You're telling Phantom. Right? You're telling me the guy who dresses up in a bright green outfit with
he's more green. Hat. He's more green than the Lantern show that's going to be coming out.
I knew he's going to say that.
Here we go. Yep.
But you mean the show that's coming out tonight?
But
the thing, Jesus Christ.
That is tonight.
The thing with Robin Hood is that Robin Hood's story is a dark, gritty, because it's oppression, it's famine, it's greed, it's oppression of the people and stuff. Like during that time, like the Sheriff of Nottingham is an evil man. He's a sadist.
Taxing them to poverty.
He's a sadist. He loves watching people suffer. That's just who he is. Like Campius would mention in Green Screen, like in the original story, there is no Prince John. Prince John is because the movies.
Yep.
That's how we got Prince John. It's because the
Well,
movie.
there's some historical things that say that Prince John was having arguments with King Richard. Like there was a Prince John, there was a King Richard, but
Yeah.
in the story itself, there was not really. They didn't put the Prince John in there until the movies. But in historical facts, they are saying that there was kind of a animosity, but that never portrayed in any other books other than Robin Hood. And it's like you said, Phantom. It's like there. I think it's also the life we lead, or what do I call it? Like the era we're living in. Like during the 80s, during the early 90s, we were more hopeful, more like let's do this. So you get the more upbeat, happy. Same thing in the 30s. 30s was out of the 20s depression, so it was like let's have some happy stuff.
Right after
stuff that
World War
makes us joy.
II. Right after
And
World War
then
II.
and then after 2008 something, like, well, actually 2010, let's be honest, the two towers, twin towers, we got everything coming out was like gritty, like it's got to be dark, it's got to be this, got to be that.
Yeah.
Superhero films, action films, all that was that kind of thing. And it's like it's a product of the era. And I for one just do not like this. How do I put it? This
I don't like the
narcissistic,
gritty movies.
The nihilist.
the nihilistic. That's the nihilistic take
nihilistic.
they're taking with these movies, as opposed to like he's
100%.
not a hero. He's a thief who
Anti-hero.
becomes
He's anti-hero. He's gray. He's
Yeah.
gritty. He's not a beacon of hope, and they're doing
yeah.
that with
He
other
didn't want to be
characters.
helpful. He was
the-
just trying to
the-
do what was right.
Right.
The thing with Robin Hood is beloved for what he did. He was a real person, everybody. He was a real person. Most of these stories are real of his adventures. It's like there's
Creative
a little
liberties
variation.
on what happened.
Fictionalized takes on real characters. Yes, I'll give you
Yes.
that.
And in the UK, there is a Sherwood. There was a Sherwood Forest where he worked out of. I mean, he was a real person, but there's a lot of stuff that come out of that stories that they had to romanticize him to be who he was, because a lot during that time frame of history in England was pretty bleak. I mean, you were dealing with the Black Plague at the time. You were dealing with the Crusades at the time. You were dealing with.
I don't think the Black Plague was that
shit.
during that. I think the Black Plague came out after all
The
that.
Black
but yeah.
Plague was like a couple hundred years ago, I believe, right?
Yeah, it should have been like, I think the Black Plague was around
Well, there was
1800s.
There was the other stuff that was happening to England, like famine. There were at
there was
war with-
droughts, famines. There was
Well,
plagues.
the Crusades were. I mean, I hate to say it like this, but King Richard was not a hero. King Richard
No.
took money from the country and went and fought the Crusades for his own wants, his own doing. Like it was
Yep.
not
Okay,
the
no,
people
no.
wanted.
The Black Plague was 13th, the 13th.
Oh, way before. Okay.
Well, yeah, not 17.
Way
I was thinking of
before.
a different virus. I was thinking of a different virus that
But
happened.
the thing I'm getting to is like that time frame. I mean, they were fighting the Celts. They're also fighting. They're also fighting like England. I mean, not England, but France at the same time. But then you had the subsets of lords and nobles in England that, when Richard was gone, they wanted to take over the fucking country for themselves, and they oppressed every fucking body. The whole fucking country was oppressed by these lords and noblemen of England, to the point where, like, Robin Hood comes back from the Crusades. He's a changed man, and he's like, you know what? I'm just going to take my skills, and I'm going to do what I can to fight these people. Now, that kind of varies from what his intentions were, because
in
like,
the original
in the
story,
story-
he had nothing to do with Crusades. He had nothing in the original
Yeah.
stories. He had nothing to do with the Crusades. He was
yeah,
a landowner, and the sheriff of Nottingham was basically like, while King Richard's away, I can take power, and he tried to take his land, everybody's land.
Mhm. Yeah.
So it's like he wasn't.
he-
The Crusades really had nothing to do with anything
Yeah.
except for the 91 movie.
Yeah, that was a thematic addition.
Yeah.
But-
So I agree with you to a point, though.
Yeah. But the thing is like he was tired of seeing his people suffer.
Yes.
Is what it was, and he's like, you know what? If this
He about
asshat,
said it.
this motherfucker is gonna take my land, and he's gonna tax my people. He's
Language.
literally took away my
Man, watch your fucking mouth.
he literally took away my nobility and stuff. I'm going into this forest that, well, the stories about Sherwood were real, that it was haunted, supposedly haunted, but it was because of people living in there. You know, that's how they defend themselves. It
was haunted by Ebola.
Shit. Yeah.
Literally a disease.
but the thing is like Robin went in and he's like, you know what? I'm tired of this. We've got to do something about it because they're literally killing our own people by doing this to them, starving them to death. They're not getting medical attention. And like I said, the Sheriff of Nottingham was a sadist. He loved watching people suffer, and he
in the original
tortured.
stories, 100%.
He tortured people. Why? For power and glory. That's what he wanted, was power and glory. And he wanted to be the king of England. He wanted to be king. He wanted to be fucking king.
Well, I mean, it is good to be king.
That is true.
And I mean, you're right. It's like that. The original story itself was more gritty, so I can understand them wanting to go that aspect of it. But it's still like in a visual media, you want to have some kind of hope, like Ronan said.
Mm-hmm.
You know, without that hope, you know, you're watching freaking 90 minutes, a 2-hour movie of freaking just like anger and hatred, and that affects you over the long run.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like I don't get the love for turning everything gritty. But we also got the other aspect of it, the funness, the giddiness, and what more aspect of that than the one we got in 93, which is Robin Hood Men in Tights. And I hate to say it, this will probably turn into a 2-movie fucking review.
Okay,
ahead,
so
man.
I like to say one thing. So the reason why we got Men in Tights was because of the Kevin Costner's Prince of Thieves. It was Mel Brooks's like spoof movie of that. And they came out like right around the same time. Like when he found out they were doing it, he's like, okay, they're going to do it. I'm going to do it. And they came out like within a couple of months of each other.
No. It was 2 years. It was 2 years, but they were filming at the same time. Like they had no script or anything for Prince of Thieves, but they was like, here's what we think is going to happen. So we're going to just make it.
Prince of Thieves was 91. Robin Hood Men in Tights was 93.
The thing was, like, you're right, Phantom, with the exception of a few things. They did go to set. Him and I think some of the other crew went to the sets of Robin Hood Prince of Thieves. Like the witch was not, the witch was taken from the movie. You also had oh my god, there's another character.
The blind
guy was taken from the movie. So it's like they did use some of the things they saw from the movie, but they were making it right around the same time. You're right. And just Robin Hood Prince of Thieves is probably one of my favorites. But man, Men in Tights it hits so well, and it's like
we're manly men in tights.
Like a lot of the fans say, it's the most like what's the word I'm looking for? It's the most accurate adaptation. What do you think of that when it comes to Men in Tights? Do you think it's more the what should be?
It's more in line. It reminds me more of the Errol Flynn Robin Hood movie more than anything, with the
swashbuckling,
right,
the aesthetics, and like we got the tournament with them doing the archery tournament in both movies. We didn't get that in we didn't get that we didn't get that in Prince of Thieves. I mean, but like Patriot era, but yeah, I think to me, is it more accurate to the regular story of Robin Hood? No, because even the Errol Flynn movie wasn't a complete adaptation of the true events that happened at time. Yeah.
Well, Men in Tights, a lot of Mel Brooks movies, is just meant to be a fun movie that you laugh at and all that. It
Well-
incorporates some accurate elements, but it is meant to be a more good, fun, enjoyable movie.
The short story we got back in the 1800s, 1800s, when they started making the short stories about it, were more like Phantom said, the archery contests and stuff like that. So it was more upbeat than the original story. So I think they were more taken from those adaptations than they were the original of like the 1100s and stuff like that. But God, it's just like Mel Brooks. He was just chef's kiss, man. This movie
Perfect
cracked
movie.
me up from beginning to end. Yeah, it's one of those where it's like if we had all not already seen Robin Hood Men in Tights, that would have been what we watched.
Yeah.
Like we should have
No,
watched.
I'd be down to watch. I'd be down to watch it anytime.
It's like
Yeah.
also like the chastity belt, doing this time frame. Chastity belt
It's an
actually.
everlast.
The thing is though, the chastity belt actually was invented way before the events of Robin Hood. So like they stopped using it before Robin was born. So like chastity belts are like way back there. And it was like a fun little gag in the movies and shit. But yeah.
So what you're saying, Phantom, is instead of reading the story, the Man in the Iron Mask, you read the Man in the Iron Pants. I'll be here all week, ladies and gentlemen.
Please don't.
No, please.
But okay, Ronan, you're not really saying. So what's your take on Robin Hood Men in Tights itself as a
Well,
satire?
Oh, on Men in Tights, like as a satire of the original legend in the story, it's hilarious. Like I find it's great. It's fun. I hadn't watched it in maybe a little over a year, maybe a little over 2 years, because I watched it with a couple of people on Discord a while back. Just mostly for fun. It was just for a fun kind of thing. So I hadn't seen it since then. But it
Was that the one with ABF? Because that's the
GTA
last time we
watch party?
watched it. Yeah.
no, not even. It was a different group. Like
Oh,
it was
okay,
before I
okay.
joined the GCA and everything.
Mm.
Yeah, but it was
wow.
still pretty fun though, from what I remembered. It was a great fun time. I enjoyed it. In terms of being closer to the story itself, I can kind of see it. I really do. Like, and for some reason, I don't know why, but I feel that it is closer to the tale than say the Kevin Costner film. But a lot of the jokes and a lot of the comedy and the humor in it, not to say that it's bad, it's great, but that stuff kind of prevents it from sort of leaning more towards it being authentic, let's just say. Sure, the Kevin Costner one probably gets a couple things wrong, but the Mel Blanc one, just by virtue of being a
Brooks.
comedy and
Mel
by virtue of
Blanc.
it being made by Mel
The
Brooks.
cartoon creator, Mel Brooks. He said Mel
I
Blanc.
said Mel Brooks. No, I said Mel Brooks, not Mel Blanc.
No, you said
Anyways.
Mel Blanc. You said Mel Blanc.
I said Mel Brooks.
That last
Well,
time
I
you
said Mel Blanc
Blanc.
a while back. A while back, I said Mel Blanc. I'll say that. Not this time, but Mel Brooks. I don't know. It's hard to say though. It's hard to say, but I still like it though.
It's a great movie. Like
it's hilarious.
Don't worry, brother, we're all dumbasses here.
Yeah, we agree. The love of that movie for me is a matter of like it's so unexpected on some things. You get like the musical scene in the middle of it,
Right.
him fighting Little John with the stick, and I can't bloody swim, and it's fucking this much of water.
Yeah.
The hang on back, guys, I've got to get pumped. So you get the like the 80s, like I don't know if
I'm on the right bank. I'm on the left bank. I'm on the right side. I'm on the left side.
It's not quantum physics. It's the principle of the thing. Your funeral. It's like it was
things about that movie that are just worth.
Yeah, like
right.
You know what? Maybe we should watch it Monday or Tuesday.
Yeah, it's absolutely.
Yes, I'd be so down for that actually.
And then you get like the Fox them and everything. That's 20th century, or it was an 18th century Fox. Little things like that.
Watch my back. You got two guys punching you in the back.
So I know we're going on a little bit of a tirade about.
So it's probably gonna be a review of both movies.
But the thing that makes movies like that work is the fact that not every joke is like obvious in your face jokes. There are some things like in the background that you could miss and all that stuff that like doesn't get explained, but it happens in a way that it's and like and the payoffs are also
Un-
like some jokes like happen like they set up a joke in the beginning of some movies, like they set up a joke in the beginning, and then like hour later they finished a
Well,
joke.
Blinken
Yeah,
was a constant joke where it was like payoff over time.
Unlike other actors, I speak in a British accent.
Unlike other Robin Hoods, I actually speak with a British accent. That's not a wild. That's a wild pig. That's a wild boar. And some of the actors, like they give it their all. Like we'll talk about that in a little bit about other characters, but like the Prince John, Sheriff of Rottingham, because he couldn't use Nottingham. Amy Asbeck as Maid Marian, Carrie Elwes. Like this is one of the first movies I saw Carrie Elwes in, and I just remember loving him. Like I saw The Princess Bride, I think before this, but I didn't realize it till after I saw this. And it's like the movie is probably, I will say it's funniest, yes, but it's probably the most fun I've ever had with a Robin Hood movie. Like I enjoy the cartoon one, the Prince John, no, mommy, and the acting in that and everything. The anamorphic animals, as Ronan put it, the Tobias Haydens and Tobias Nexuses. But it's like you get different aspects. You get the fun in the animated. You get the goofiness in this one. You get the more serious take with, like I said, the Russell Crowe, and to a point the one from 91 that we're going to talk about. But you also get like the weirdest things where it's like Kevin Costner. I don't know if you two noticed this. Did not one time use an English accent.
No.
True.
It was
Wyoming
pure
accent.
American freaking Midwest accent through the whole movie.
Yeah.
I mean, it sounded like he was trying to put some effort into it, but for every attempt that he was trying to, yes, his American Midwestern accent was just coming out in full force.
That's same with Errol Flynn. That's same with Errol Flynn. It's the same.
Did he not use it? I thought he had a British accent.
No, he didn't.
No, he was a French guy, wasn't he? AP.
Fuck you.
But it's like these movies are putting out there this story of, the hero's journey, the beating against all odds, taking on the establishment, if you want to say that. So what would you say the other aspects that you get throughout the world of the Robin Hood story? Like what would that story lead into? And I'll give you an example, like action movies want to do the hero's journey. You get the oppressor taking on and then one person that's trying to save them. That's kind of a Robin Hood aspect. There's other heroes that we've had through the years, but that's a really big Robin Hood aspect.
The stealing from the rich and giving to the poor. Like
Right,
that's
of course.
Apparently, technically, it's more of a stealing from the corrupt and giving to the the innocent.
Well, I mean, the corrupt in this instance just happen to be rich. But I get what you're trying to say, though. It's not the idea of just stealing from the rich in general, unlike what the modern Robin Hood Canadian show did.
He was Robin
in the Hood. It was the thieves. It was the thieves being thieves.
But yeah, it was pretty much returning to the taxpayer.
Yes, that's all. That's all exactly what it was. It was just giving the money back to the taxpayer.
I'd say it's about liberty. That's what it is.
About taking on the oppressor. Yeah, freedom. And these movies, they did that, but it's like you got to look, and AP bring up the budget versus what they made, and it's like these movies are not. There's not that many made. Like there's literally, wow, that is little.
Just like John.
That's what she said.
But you see right here, like the theatrically released movies, there's only been 6 to 7. And it's like, I don't understand how like such a iconic story went 38 to 91. Like Ronan said, it was there in TV and other little serials, but they did not do a theatrical movie for almost 40 years there.
But you gotta look at this, Campia. That's even though technically the original did bomb, that's still impressive. $15 million. That's still impressive up to that time.
I don't think it would. I don't consider that a bomb because they didn't have TV. They didn't have back then. You didn't have a lot of the. You didn't advertise on TV and stuff like that. So I don't think the advertising budget. They lost a little bit, but I mean, I'm sure they got it back over the years in VHS sales and stuff when that happened.
Oh yeah.
And it's like Robin Hood Prince of Thieves. You see right there, it was $60 million and it made 390 freaking million. And that's just theatrical. That's just theatrical.
Yep.
And it's like these movies
really
over time. What?
Oh, I was looking at the inflation numbers of how much it would have made in comparison to today, Prince of Thieves, and it would have made around $977 million apparently.
It was really popular back then. Like the aspect of that, and I'll go into it in a little bit, but the music that was in it as well led it to
toys. I mean, this is like one of the first Robin Hood movies that sold toys with the movie, and like you couldn't find the toys at the time. That like Campia said, the soundtrack was always sold out. I mean, literally, Bryan Adams when he did Everything I Do for You for this movie, like hit #1, and it like it brought him back because at the time he wasn't really doing anything at the time.
No, Kevin Costner. Because of this, he got. Oh my God, what's the name of it?
Musketeers.
No. I'm talking about Kevin Costner. He did Dancing with Wolves after this. He did he got 3 of his most biggest hit movies after he did Robin Hood Prince of Thieves, and it's crazy because it's like that led him down the road. Like he's a bankable star, and he has been ever since. Let's be honest.
Yep.
But I also noticed if you look here. It's crazy how you see the budgets going up, but you see the returns going down. And I really think that has to do with the fact that it's like the grittiness was there for like the 2010 one, but then people are tired of it. People are tired of the nihilistic take on Robin Hood.
Waterworld?
Waterworld was not. We're not talking about Waterworld.
I know a lot of people didn't like it. I love Waterworld. I loved it.
That's what I'm saying, though. Like what I was saying before is like Robin Hood seems like a tale that has to have a little bit of whimsy to it. And like you can have some darker elements into it just to match with like the time period that it is. Yes, this was pre-Black Plague England. And like this was during
1100s.
I think that makes it the third or fourth crusade, if I'm correct.
Third crusade. Third
crusade. Okay, yeah.
1189 to 1206, I think.
But yeah, but in that case, of course, like it's still a tumultuous and dark time, like there's still plenty of violence, there's still plenty of like just hardship going on in England. So you can still have the darker elements, but adding the whimsy like you did in, Prince of Thieves, and then maybe layering just a tiny bit into it with Men in Tights just because of the nature of the overall story. Like, a gentleman leaning.
Okay.
But
leaning.
Just the okay. But just the overall nature of the story like lends itself to being a little bit more lighthearted than a lot of these later films in the 21st century.
I don't disagree. And
I think one thing that Campia pointed out earlier was especially post 9/11 was when a lot of media went from like more whimsical, more upbeat, and more joyous and more fantastical to more gritty and realistic.
Yeah,
and
of course.
I think a lot of things, especially the more whimsical tales that we have, don't work like that. I don't think a Robin Hood story in its best adaptation would work in a gritty or more grounded adaptation.
Well, also if you look at it during this time, Robin Hood wasn't in theaters. They had it on television. Like Robin Hood from the early 2000s, early 2000s up until like when they brought him back to theaters, he was a TV show.
Yeah.
They had multiple TV shows, and even in those TV shows, that's where the grittiness started to peek its ugly head was in those TV shows. Compare like after Men in Tights. You go watch Robin of Sherwood and Robert of Locksley and those shows like that, and you can see where it's it's grounded. You see them fighting in mud. You see people dying, and you see like the viciousness of the era more in the TV shows than anywhere else.
I'll agree with you on one aspect. I think some of the ones were like during the Hercules era, like we got the one that was I forget the actor's name, but the one we got after wrestling, which was the Adventures of Robin Hood. It was only 2 seasons long, but I think that was more whimsy. But around 2006 is when we got the BBC Robin Hood, and that was so fucking gritty that I think that's why the 2010 was dark. I think that's why the other ones are dark after that, because the first, I don't know if it did well for all 3 seasons, but I know the first season of the BBC Robin Hood was a huge success, a freaking huge, massive success. And I think that's why the Russell Crowe one and the oh my God, what's his name? Ridley Scott Robin Hood was just so damn dark and so damn.
But also like in those TV shows, they added the sword and sorcery aspect to the story.
They put it back into it. Yeah,
they put it back into it because they're like in the Robin Hood stories. There are witches. There were demon worship and stuff in the stories. I mean, that's prolific during that time frame of people being accused of demon worship.
Yeah, if you were against me, you were a demon worshiper.
Yeah. Secret societies in England at the time that were trying to undermine everything that the king was doing. Yeah, that was all over the place during that time frame.
Yeah, he wasn't in England. They said in this movie, I'll give it this: he's not in England to be challenged.
No.
Like this is like during and this is like during a time like he's supposedly like he's supposed to be coming back from the Crusades, but like Richard spends like what nearly 2 decades in France before he comes back because he's trying to rebuild his army. If I'm correct,
it's Second Crusade to Third Crusade, so it would have been 25 years, I think, 25 years, something like that. So you're right, yeah. But he does come back here and there, but it's not near what they try to claim, like he's always around as king. But it's like it's a darker take, and with darker take you get sometimes, and lighter take you get different things like music. Like, how does the music and costumes of each of these Robin Hoods change the story and does it help or hinder it? Like you got like we talked about Men in Tights, you got the whimsical, the greens, the bright colors, the leotards, stuff like that. And in Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves, you got the more accurate to the times kind of clothing. Well, sort of, but do you think that has, and then that with the music itself, like we got a lot of the wind and fiddle and cello playing, everything I do for you, which was, freaking everywhere at that point. What do you think the music and the costumes itself rank on these kind of movies? Do they matter?
Yes. Well, if you're going for a period piece of sorts, I would say they absolutely do matter, because that's why I wasn't so interested in the Taron Egerton one, because I know they were trying to give it a little bit more of a sleek look, but like it felt like Taron Egerton's Robin Hood was running around with a fucking some kind of slick leather number or something like that, like he's part of a biker gang or something. It's like, what are we doing here?
He was wearing a lot of
he was doing parkour and a leather outfit,
right? What I've seen of like the clips and stuff is like, is this Robin Hood or is this Arrow from the Arrowverse?
Pretty much. I mean, that's what it could have felt like.
I think they took. I think what they wanted to do with that movie was they wanted to make it more of an action movie, because I think they wanted to franchise it. I think that was their goal, was to franchise it, like they did with that wanted to do with a lot of things, like the King Arthur movie as well.
They wanted a Lord of the Rings franchise with Robin Hood.
Right. I mean, you can't, and again, you can't really do something like that, because Robin Hood is it's not a short story, but it's a legend that has
been built over time.
It's a legend tale.
Built over time, but it's a one and done tale. It's not really something that can be grand and epic to that scale, like with the
like once he stopped the sheriff or Prince John, once he's gotten to Marion, once he's like, what happens after that? Like, does he just go back to sitting in a freaking castle of Locksley and just like, this is my life now, I'm cool,
right?
Like it becomes an everyday, every person character at that point.
Well, like with what we saw Paul W.S. Anderson do with the Three Musketeers. Like what they were trying to build, it's like, okay, you're expanding in that regard, even though the Three Musketeers, just have that one simple story and that's it. There's not much more. It's not like there's a war involved or anything. What Anderson was trying to do with his movies, like that could have been interesting, maybe, just because of the nature of what he was creating. But with like a lot of these films, just by the very nature of what Robin Hood is in and of itself, you can't really expand much further onto that. I mean, maybe you could, if you wanted to do like a prequel film or something with the Kevin Costner one, maybe we would see Kevin Costner's version of
during the Crusades or when he was a teenager. Like, I
Yes.
don't care, Dad. I'm going to fight.
Exactly. Maybe you could see something like that. But beyond the defeat of the Sheriff of Nottingham, not really much more.
Well, I mean, they did do Phantom. I think you watched it, and I watched an episode or two of it. They did a show that was young Robin Hood back in like 90 something, 80, 90.
Okay.
So there is like a young Robin Hood type stories about him as a kid. It's just like you said, like it's not one that people follow around a lot. Like Robin Hood movies are great for what they are, but they're not, like you said, they're not a franchise. They're not one you're going to watch and go, oh, I need to watch what happens next. Oh, I need to watch what happens next after that.
Right.
You said it perfectly. They're a one and done story, and that's what we dealing with this kind of stuff. Is like that's why you have a new one every 10, 20 years since then. Well, 8 years in a Taron Egerton one, but like the music though, like y'all got to admit the music in Prince of Thieves was phenomenal.
Oh, it was great.
100%.
I absolutely love the music. Yes.
The swelling of it,
it
and
was
stuff
so
like that.
good that it was so good that Disney used the main theme as their brand theme for years.
Yeah.
They still use it.
Well, like I said when we were watching it, it's like if you guys listen to the main theme of the movie, like you can hear like Pirates of the Caribbean elements in.
I did
the
not
beginning
notice
of
that
that.
at all until Phantom brought that to my attention. I agree with you, Phantom. Like it was like you could feel the
Like,
early
dun, 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 the very beginning.
and we checked. It was not the same composer. It was not the same composer.
Right.
But
But
the thing is, like
well,
that
even
you
back
say,
at the
like,
Errol Flynn Phantom, tell me about the
Yeah.
music from that. Like, didn't you enjoy like the swinging of the?
Oh yeah, yeah. Like the thing is like
the whimsy.
like we were talking like the movies and stuff. If they would have done a movie where like he's fighting the sheriff and he didn't defeat him, like the sheriff maybe escaped, because a lot of these movies he just kills the sheriff. Just basically, he just kills him, right?
Yep.
If they would have had it where, say, the sheriff was wounded, he escapes and he makes a comeback, I can see them doing another movie where he's like, okay, he's back, I gotta fight him again. I can see that.
The
right?
only
And
one I think that doesn't kill him is the damn Disney cartoon.
Yeah, Disney cartoon. But it's
now that
like
I think about it.
I mean, that's how you would make a franchise. Is like if you keep the sheriff alive and don't kill him, then like he can escape and fight another day and come back.
Well, I mean, yeah. I mean, this indie company made a Robin Hood game recently. Robin Hood Sherwood Builders, and it's
a good game. It's a good game.
I've played it. Yeah, I played it. I enjoy it. And
well, I mean, let's be honest. If you don't kill the villains, you get a franchise out of it that could build and build and build.
Now going to the Errol Flynn movie. The intro of the music was pretty good. Those type of movies during that time, they didn't like have like a lot of music part of the movie because it's the 30s. They just didn't do that. They didn't. That mean like it was like in the
wasn't a lot of strings
40s,
and yeah.
40 is like 40s, early 50s is when they like okay, we need to add. It helps have like music throughout the movie.
Music
like,
added depth and substance.
Phantom knows he was there.
He was the guy working on the music.
You too. But like
he was the Foley artist.
But like Robin Hood had his own little theme, and then like later on, like in Prince of Thieves, like the music helped build the movie. The horse riding, the sword,
the swelling of it during the little romantic scene.
Even the comedic moments with the sheriff and the scribe, those little musical quirks that were playing with yeah.
the dark, deep tones.
Yep.
So, having said that, like, what do you think of? I'm going to go ahead and skip one here. The Sheriff of Nottingham, Prince John, are usually the most entertaining characters. Why does this specific role allow actors to be like give as much freedom as they do to chew the scenery, to cartoonish villain it out, if you will, completely altering the stakes of what is supposedly a grounded rebellion? Like, what did you think of?
I'll go last because I got a long-winded thing about the character.
About what we're okay. Yeah. For me, it's like Prince John and the animated version was just this bumbling idiot who strictly was in power because
he's a mama's boy.
Well, he's a mama's boy, but the snake was doing all the work. I forget the snake's name, but he was the sheriff. And the snake was the sheriff, and he's like, he did. They're not the snake wasn't the sheriff. Never mind. Hiss and oh my god, I forget his name.
It was Baloo. It was Baloo.
The guy that did Baloo, like he was doing all the work for the prince. Without him, the prince would have not really been. I think he would have. He was like, let's be honest, he was kind of mentally incompetent. So it's like you get the stories like that where it's just this cartoonish villain, and then in later aspects you get this like evil tyrant, as Phantom said, like the stories. What do y'all think of like the character itself, like the characters, Prince John, the Sheriff of Nottingham? After that, we can go to the witch and stuff like that. What do you think about the villains in a Robin Hood movie?
Well, I'll say, like, a villain really makes a movie. Like they make the movie as much as the protagonist, and with those specific characters, they add a contrast. Really, that's what they add. Not just like to like, oh, it's a guy, it's a villain. He's the opposite of, but personality wise, when someone is more serious and more like like stern, like not stern, but like the
controlled, measured.
Controlled, measured, and all that. You need a contrast to that to balance it out.
Maniacal,
maniacal, chaotic, evil, Phantom, but
evil Phantom.
I think
evil Phantom.
Evil Phantom. I think the cartoonish villain works in like it works in a lot of the adaptations, and we haven't seen that a lot recently. We've seen a lot more grittier and like especially in the Taron Egerton movie.
He was a serious killer. He was a killer.
He was sinister as shit. And you can have a sinister villain, but they can still be cartoonish. They can still be a little wacky and all that. And I think I'm
gonna cut your heart out with a spoon.
Cause it's dull.
Why a spoon, cousin? Why not a fork or a knife?
It's dull in a hut.
I mean, yeah, and you got the funny aspects. Like, say what you want about the Robin Hood Men in Tights one, but by God, Roger Rees just killed it as the Sheriff of Nottingham. He was so much fun. Walk this way, Flip, and he like him and him fighting the witch, the witch trying to marry him and stuff. Like that was some of the greatest. Like I love Alan Rickman and what he does, but man, Roger Rees just killed it for what he got to.
It's gonna chafe my willy.
And then they bring out the damn jackhammer. Yes, this is the 1100s. You may take this body, but I will never submit. Phantom, what was you going to bring up?
Has Ronan gone yet?
Ronan? What do you think of the villain aspect?
All I can say is, at least when it came to Alan Rickman's portrayal of the Sheriff of Nottingham, I was having a good. You know what it felt like? I almost felt like I was watching Hans Gruber again. That's what it felt like. I was watching Hans Gruber. It was like trying to be measured and contained, and then as it all progressively gets worse and worse, it starts falling apart, and like just almost starts turning into a feral beast by the end of it. Like especially when he's fighting against Robin himself. But it's I would agree with what AP says, is that like a villain. No, a hero is only as good as his villain. If the villain more or less plays not just as his foil, but as his antithesis, Like everything that the hero,
Antithesis Phantom is opposite.
Yes, everything that is the complete opposite of what the hero stands for. If he plays it as such, it works perfectly. Like I know there's a lot of films that try to make villains almost be too similar, too relatable to the hero, just to try and paint this whole morally gray aspect of like, oh, the hero.
You and I are the same.
Yeah, we're
The
not so
opposite
different.
side of the coin.
Yeah,
You're
basically.
opposite
The
side
same
of
thing.
the
Just
I'll
two different
give a
sides of the same coin.
I'll give a good example of a foil character and a really dynamic character. Batman and Joker.
Yeah,
Batman is very
right.
serious, straight-minded, and like he is stern. He's gritty. He's dark. Joker is maniacal. He's crazy. He's insane. He's goofy, in the most sinister ways. And like that contrast, that contrast is one of the reasons why that dynamic is loved so much. And like, go on.
No, right. Like that makes sense when it comes to Batman and Joker and everything, right? But the point that I'm trying to make is that like not always is something like that necessary. Sometimes you just want to have a villain and a hero that are so opposite to each other, and like
a true hero and then a snidely whiplash.
Yes, exactly. And like it just plays out like a lot of fun. You feel like you're
an evil champion.
You feel like you're enjoying a story that's as old as time. A tale as old as time. Let's put
evil
it that
champion,
way.
Faggy Phantom.
Now,
straight champion, Faggy Phantom.
Now, for myself, like Alan Rickman's adaptation of the Sheriff of Nottingham is a amalgamation of both.
What amalgamation means.
It's Prince John and the sheriff combined, so he's two characters in one, because we didn't have a Prince John in this movie. So literally he's playing the serious evil maniacal sheriff, but he's also playing the goofy mentally unstable Prince John at the same time.
I think that let's go into the review then about the movie. But the thing is, I think his cousin was more the goofiness of that character. Like they gave that to the cousin as opposed to him being the.
But then he fell in line like after he kills his cousin.
Yeah,
he
becomes everything.
So I'll say the cousin at first was like more of that sheriff role, while he was more of the Prince John. But then, he kills his cousin. With a freaking not with a spoon, with a sword. But
Loxley, I will cut your heart out with a spoon.
Yeah, but
spoon,
then,
he
does become the prince and the sheriff by that point.
It hurt.
It hurt. Okay, so being the first time for you and Ronan, let's hear what your take of it as first time saying it.
Yeah, but it's like the third movie with Alan Richardson that
Rickman.
Alan Richardson.
Two similar names. But Alan Rickman. This is like the third movie that like we've seen him in our reviews. So
what was the third? See, we watched Dogma and this one.
You said third one point.
No, Phantom said third, but I think it's just second.
No,
anyway.
we will have three because we're going to do
Die Hard.
Quigley.
Or Quigley. You're right.
We go do Quigley like later on.
But yeah, I really enjoyed this movie. I loved it. Like this was not in the picture when I was watching it. Like I was almost completely invested, and it was just great because like freaking Kevin Costner. I thought he was good for the role. I thought he did a good job, and and that too. But again, like I just enjoyed it. Morgan Freeman was excellent as non-YouTube appropriate comment.
Azim.
Azim.
Or as we call him, Ronan on the thumbnail.
But
yeah.
I loved everyone. I really loved a lot of people in this movie. I love the dynamic between Robin Hood, of course, and what would be his like revealed as his brother, like how they had a kind of
Christian
relationship.
Slater.
And Christian Slater, and then
is that who that was? That played
brother? That was. Yeah.
Oh shit! That was. Okay.
But I will absolutely say beyond a shadow of doubt, we watched the director's cut. Like that's what we watched, and Friar Tuck was so funny in this movie. Like,
he had more
I love
scenes
his
in this
character.
one than the original too. He
But
had
again,
more scenes than this one.
Yeah.
Alan Rickman really stole the show, in my opinion. Like he usually does, but he stole the show in this movie, and it was great. It was fun. It was enjoyable. The fight scenes were compelling enough to continue watching. The music was perfect, and honestly, how long was this movie? What, like almost 3 hours?
2 hours and 25 minutes.
I was completely off. But it went by fast. Like this movie did not feel like it was that long of a movie. I mean, it was great. I had fun with it, and overall, it's great.
And Ronan, it's your first time as well. What was your take on it?
Well, I mean, like I said before, with like Alan Rickman's performance as the sheriff, it was fantastic. I was having a fun time with the way that this guy performs. Yes, exactly. Like the way that Booming Bob, aka Ebola, aka SKT T1,
Cowardly Winter,
aka Light and Shadow, aka
Cowardly
Winter,
aka Cuck Boy.
Cuck Boy.
AKA
no, not Cuck Boy.
And finally, of course, AKA I'm sick of your shit. I'm so sick of your shit. Anyways, but yes, like the way he put it, Alan Rickman really stole the show in this film. It was fantastic. Kevin Costner, look, say what you all will about his Midwestern American accent when it came to it. I think he did a pretty good job with the performance as Robin. I was pleasantly surprised. In this film, they included a sort of twist, what's what I'm looking for? A twist plot introduction with Robin having a brother. I don't know if that was always part of the legend or
Yeah.
Oh, it was. Okay.
Will Scarlet was his brother in the original story.
In the original story, I think he was no. I think in the original story he was it was Richard's brother's kid, I think, in the original story.
So a cousin,
but he was always
rather than a
family.
brother.
He was always
family. Will Scarlet. Okay, no, I did not know that. But with Christian Slater playing as Will Scarlet and then finally introducing himself, I understand now why it is he resented him. He didn't resent him just because he found him to be another rich boy. He resented him because he basically, in his eyes, abandoned the family to go off into the Crusades. And then finally, when he comes back after everything was taken from all of them, including, of course, Will Scarlet here, now he wants to try and play the hero and take the responsibility that he was meant to before. But finally, when he finally does explain that to him and like kind of breaks down in front of him. He
run the King, not King Richard, Loxley. Fuck, what was his name?
Loxley.
The father.
His father. I know who you're talking about.
The main Loxley. He found solace once his wife died in a chambermaid or whatever, and that's where the kid came from. And instead of just allowing it to happen like to love, Robin said, "I will never forgive you if you stay with her."
Well, the biggest running thing in this movie is like, before you left for the Crusades, you were this arrogant, bullying rich boy, and then he's like the Crusades changed me and made me a better man.
He says that to Maid Marian as well too, who by the way was like, that was also a pretty good performance with Maid Marian. And
Mary Elizabeth Mastino, I can't think of her name.
And yes, Lowell Gooner and me is also going to say that was a nice little ass shot we had there for a split second.
I had to bring it up to him.
Morgan Freeman as the Muslim. No, I'm kidding. As Azim, it was also a pretty good performance as well. I did like that. It was funny too. I kept consistently calling Robin as Christian. Like he just it wasn't just calling him by his religion. It was just the fact that he just didn't bother to learn his name. He didn't want to bother to learn his name.
He did not say his name until he was on the top of the wall of the castle. Is like, come,
that's when he finally
join Robin Hood.
Well, he doesn't say his name. He's actually calling him Robin Hood. Yeah, he's not actually saying it. He never says it to him in the movie,
but he calls him by the new title that everyone knows him as.
That was a call. That was a call to action.
Fight with Robin Hood.
Yes,
he wants to be free men.
Mm-hmm. So in
Like
there,
this-
he actually began respecting him rather than
the
just
speech.
calling.
The speech was amazing too. Like
Yes,
Oh,
no,
yeah.
it was. And I gotta admit too, I even liked Friar Tuck, like when he showed up. And
you mean Friar Ronan?
yes, right. No, I know. I'm talking about young Friar Phantom.
No. He was
No!
burping and farting. He was totally
That was
Ronan.
you.
Bro, he sounded a lot more like Phantom the first time he was showing up. Only when he started burping were you fucks trying to, connect him to me. But anyways, yeah, it was a really good film all around. I really did like it, and I like even more that we watched the extended edition,
The
which
directors, yeah.
the director's cut basically, which kind of explains everything in detail, explains why the sheriff is doing this, because he's basically cutting up England to several other lords that are working with him as well.
7 other lords.
Yep. And he also even tries to bring the Celts in to, basically
Fuck the Irish.
strong arm everybody. And the witch coming in and basically being his mom. I had figured that from the very start, because
That was not in the original cut.
Right. But I'd figured that from the very start because, the witch is the one working closely with him, helping him out in all of this. And like, it felt like it was leading to that kind of revelation, but it was good. It was a great film. I really do appreciate it.
If you want a witch, buy.
If
you want a witch, find a witch.
and I
I'm
wanna
your
point
cook.
something out.
Eat your food.
On critic lists, the audience score is 81% as of right now, and
Honestly, I think it's kind of low.
yeah, I'm kind of surprised by that.
81%. Yeah, that is actually a bit low, but regardless,
Yeah.
it's, maybe 4 of us could change that. I don't know. Or maybe you and the audience could change that as well. If you'd like to leave a review on Critic List, go support them. Shout out to Blaine, of course.
Bingo.
He's a great guy.
Yep.
I think for myself with this movie, I've always loved this movie. I mean, I love the Errol Flynn movie because this was like my first one. I love the Disney one. But this movie right here, I love the music. I love like there's some comedic elements between Robin and the Muslim dude.
The
Yeah.
Muslim dude.
The Sheriff Nottingham, like his scenes are just so fucking hilarious. And the thing is, guys out there in the audience, when we were talking about this movie, I told Campia, well, you do know the witch is his mother. And he's like, no, she's not. No, she's not. I'm like, yes, she is. That's his mother. Because I've actually seen the director's cut years ago. So I knew before you guys that the witch was his mother.
Well,
Didn't
it was
say
on my
nothing.
Jelly fan. I didn't even know I
No.
had the director's cut till we watched it.
Yeah.
Right.
The thing for
Honestly,
me, I prefer the director's cut than the theatrical because, I mean, there's still some bloopers in there because there's a scene where Azim is like, he's coming down the hill, he's coming down the wall, and you can see him like he's already starting to climb down. He climbs back up. They left it in the movie. The butt cheek scene was there, but the funniest ones we know that
the
the
scenes in the
scribe.
theatrical too.
Yeah, the funny thing is the scribe in the director's cut gets his tongue cut out, but then later on he's able to talk. They kept that.
I'm
in
just
the
gonna
movie.
say, Phantom favorite scene was a Kevin Costner butt scene.
No, it wasn't.
Phantom's favorite scene. You're right.
No,
Yeah.
but Phantom, I know we all agree with this. One of the funniest scenes was where they get on the catapult and they launch
Fuck
over the
me, he
wall.
cleared it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck years just later, they're like, you think you're gonna-
But that
Will.
was ad lib. That
Like-
that wasn't even a line. He said that, and they kept it in the fucking movie. They kept it in the movie.
Yeah, that was
It
not
was
a
great.
movie line.
I'm so glad. So Campia, you also prefer the director's cut over the original?
Yes, I do.
Okay,
I-
so
I
yeah,
think if
that,
you're
that,
wanting to-
that
if
was
you're
my
wanting-
question
here's the
between you
thing.
two.
If you only have a short amount of time, I think the theatrical is amazing. I looked it up.
Yeah.
It's an hour and 57 minutes. So they cut a good 20 minutes out of the movie because most of the
Mhm.
scenes with the witch, between the witch and Alan Rickman,
57 minutes?
is hour and I think it was hour and 57, hour and
So
58.
the standard, the theatrical is an hour 23 minutes. So that's about 30 minutes that they cut. They cut
Wait,
half hour
what?
from the movie.
Oh,
Yeah.
damn. But anyway, they cut the witch, a good portion of the witch scenes out of it. And it's like, it added to it. I agree. The director's cut added to it. But just the movie itself, like, I think I watched the theatrical one for years. Like I said, this first time I remember watching the damn director's cut. And it gives Alan Rickman a lot more nuance to his character, a lot more for him to do that I didn't get in the original. Like there's
it
things,
fills in the
why
holes.
why the witch helps him out. You don't really know in the theatrical. You do in this. There's other scenes. I'm trying to think of what, but there was quite a few of the fire tuck. Some Aziz.
The same where they're in that room with the other lords and he's paying them money and he's introducing the Campion's great grandfather that's going to come in and help them. There's a scene, if I remember right, there's a couple of Friar Tuck scenes that were cut out.
He's considering Azim an infidel, and in the theatrical cut, you get maybe him saying like infidel don't need to talk to her, and that's it. That's all you really get. Like you get one little scene, and he's like, I've treated you like shit up to that. And in this version, he shows how he's treating him.
Yeah,
like you're nothing. You shouldn't be here. You should be gone. Like you didn't get that in theatrical.
A lot of the scenes were that they cut were particularly of Alan Rickman's scenes with
90% of the cuts was that and the witch.
I loved all those performances that they added to it. Like I thought.
In the theatrical, you didn't know, like you didn't see the eye openings and stuff that she was watching from. So you didn't know. You just thought witch, she knows everything.
Yeah.
And then this show's like, no, she doesn't know everything. She's just able to go through the halls and watch.
She's smart enough. She's smart enough to use her, which is kind of wild that they have walls that big that you can.
But Ronan said it like his Midwest accent was there, and it wasn't really a British or whatever you want to call it, but. The movie's so good, you don't notice it. You don't even notice
an English accent, as they call it.
Like, the only reason it's noticed is after the fact. After you've seen it 100 times, then you're like, okay, yeah, I can see what they're talking about there. One thing that bothered me, though, and I didn't realize it till this movie, because I've seen it 100 times, didn't think nothing about it. Marion is basically fighting his ass and kicking ass in this black suit as he first meets Marion again over the time, right? Mm-hmm. So she's throwing knives, punching him, stabbing at him and everything. After that scene, basically she turns into I can't do anything maiden.
Yeah.
Like there was so many times she could have like fought Alan Rickman, the sheriff of Nottingham. There's hundreds of times she could have done something like she did to Robin. But she just
the one scene, the one scene in particular that comes to mind is when those two guys kind of hold her and her lady hostage, lady in waiting, and she gets one of them to come close, and then she pulls a knife out and holds it to his throat. And,
Bull and the other guy,
holds it to his throat.
So she shows she can fight, but then at the end of the movie, at the end of the movie, nothing. She's just I don't want to do it.
Well, I can explain that because if she would fight, she would think he was going to kill the people that he had hostage at the time.
Well, okay, you could also explain it as maybe like she knew they were dumb and bimbos and all that, and she took advantage of that. And then with everyone else, she's like, they're competent warriors. I'm not going to try to fight them.
Could be. Like, I will say this. She did, like, he kissed her, and she fucking pokes him with a damn candle. So she does get a little bit of, like, revenge. But it's like, it just felt like she was just like, I feel like the fight scene between her and the witch would have been like, no offense, what we got was fucking great.
I will say, I love that statue that had the painted scar on it, and I love how that was a joke. Again, that was a joke that was set up in the beginning of the movie, and then added on.
As they're fighting in the thing, he just looks over like, what the hell?
Yeah, and
then Robin's like, huh?
And then they take the statue and they start using it as a battering ram.
Right.
The thing is, though, like in the theatrical, it's hinted that it's Robin that did that to the statue in the theatrical. It's like nobody knew who did. It's like, was it Robin snuck in there and did that to him? Nobody really knows. Like that was like a little thing. It's like, but then like in the director's cut answer. If I remember right, in the theatrical, he doesn't like, huh?
No, he does. He does.
But it's like one of those comedic moments. Like there is a low level of comedy in this movie. 100%.
Yeah, there's quips throughout it.
Yeah.
Like, can you shoot in distraction? Can you?
Now, there was something that I told the guys about this. So if anybody's ever seen the movie, the scene where he draws the bow and he's looking down the bow, the arrow itself, and he launches it. They literally built a massive practical effect of his
Mhm.
hand holding the bow, an arrow, and a bow itself, to where it draws back and releases.
I don't think if I remember right, Phantom, I
Yeah.
don't think the bow's there. I think it's just the arrow. Like it's a
It's the arrow.
comically
It's the arrow.
huge arrow to fit
Yep.
the camera on to just
Yep.
slide down the track.
Yep.
Mm.
Like that's 100% true. And it looks, the scene is great because you see it. I mean, they milked that scene. Let's be honest. That was in every trailer you saw, was that
Yeah.
arrow shooting down the thing.
Oh no,
and
no,
stabbing
Cappy.
the thing.
There's a thing where you actually see the bow,
The
the
pullback?
arrow, the pullback. You actually do see that. You do see that in the trailer and in the theatrical, because you can see the hand and stuff pulling it back. So that is there.
But this movie though, like you get some great side characters too. The guy that played Little John was phenomenal. John Little, or should I call you Little John? Christian Slater as Will Scarlet was amazing. The guy that played Friar Tuck,
John's son, his wife.
Duncan was also really good. Duncan was also
not gonna
really
let
good
the others
character.
die. Duncan was a great character.
Yeah.
Like
Mhm.
freaking Walter Sparrow's his name, and he was just he's did a great job with that. Mike McShane, I think, is Friar Tuck, and oh dude, you could just tell he was having a ball.
They all
did. It was great, dude.
Another thing, like a month before this movie came out, July 14th, I just looked it up. July 14th, this movie came out. 1 month before, on May 10th, The Crow came out, where you saw Michael Wincock, aka the cousin of Guile of Gisborne, the cousin, literally a month apart in movies of him coming out, and he plays this serious sadistic character, and then he's kind of this goofball in Robin Hood, and I think that's kind of a cool aspect as well.
Yep.
So
actor range, man.
Go ahead, Phantom.
Okay, so like another thing about this movie that just is the scenery. They filmed in England. They filmed like all over England, and I think some in France a little bit in some places. But like my favorite scene of it is when they're escaping from Maid Marian's home, and they're riding and they're going to Sherwood. Like they actually filmed outside this giant forest with this whole scene and stuff. And I don't know. This movie is like, I love it for the practical effects. I love it for the dialogue. I love the music, but like Alan Rickman's
you bring it up right there. You bring it up right there though. Before you go into that, they get, like Ronan was talking about, the mysticism and stuff in the Sherwood Forest. Like they show, like, here's your ghost, Duncan, the wind chimes to keep people away, the sounds to keep them away. So you're right, like they had the mysticism, but it was more it's actually practical. Here's how they
it was a grounded take on the mysticism, like explainable, like it's not haunted. It's
right.
You got the you got the magic and stuff from The Witch herself. And that was isolated to where it was isolated in the castle itself, where it should have been, with her dungeon, and like when she spits on the plate and it starts fucking
burning
on the
plate.
plate.
It's just a place in there. There's not on heat, but it starts burning. That and I don't remember that. Let me see what the actor's name was. The witch, the one that did the witch, was just phenomenal, dude. Geraldine McEvan was so good as that role. Like everybody here, it feels like they could take certain side characters, like even if you take the kid away, John's kid, it's like it feels like something would be missing to me in this movie.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like everybody plays a part. Bull is really nothing to do with this movie, but he was such a fun character that it's why they call you Bull? Because they're so short? No, because I'm so long. Just shit like that, and then him doing the like, you take the one on the left, I'll take the one on the right. Which one's your one on the left? Your right hand. It's just little things.
How many are there? 5.
They can't count anyway. Just the little quips. And he plays up the, like, he gets the girl's ring. He's like, no beauty of yours should not have such trinkets. And just, he was smooth. He was suave.
Hey, he flattered that woman. Like he did. Like
I have to say, it's probably one of my favorite Kevin Costner's roles is Robin.
It's not my favorite, but it's definitely number 2, maybe number 3.
I still think iconic roles.
I still think Dancing with Wolves is more. I like Dancing with Wolves a little bit better than this. But like, shoot, what was I gonna go with that? But the actors, well, I was talking about the side characters, everybody. Without them, it wouldn't be good. The scenery on this stuff, like the freaking river fight between him and Little John.
I love it. Yeah, that was great.
So good.
Kevin, the scene where Robin goes inside of Marion's home and he sees her fucking lady, her handmaid comes
The
out,
years have been.
And he wants to call her fat. He wants to make a fat joke. He fucking really wants to. He's like, I better.
He literally like he bites his tongue. He's like,
"I
years have been kind to you."
What name is Azim? Cornish? Damn those Moors! What name is Azim? Cornish? French? Moorish.
Moorish.
Yeah. Put me in the danger, Azim. I'm ready.
My favorite Morgan Freeman line is when he's got the telescope and he holds it to Robin, and Robin looks at it and he pulls his sword. He starts to that. It's a wonder you took Jerusalem.
So how did you take Jerusalem? God only knows. Yeah, he makes a makeshift not binocular,
telescope.
What's it called? Telescope.
Mhm.
And Robin just takes a sword and trying to dig them out of the hole.
But, yeah.
But this movie's great.
Oh yeah.
So what
I had a great time with it. It was like, again, Alan Rickman. He stole the show. He absolutely
killed
did.
it. What do you give it, AP?
I'm gonna give it an 8.5 out of 10. You know what? Actually, I'll say 9. I'll say 9 out of 10. Because I really freaking enjoyed it.
That's good. Would you? It would be one you'd watch again?
100%.
Okay.
I would probably watch it a few times. It's not a movie I probably go to watch
twice a year.
Yeah,
I watch it once a year. I do watch it once a year.
Yeah, at least once or twice a year is at least it's like a movie like this would.
This is my first time in 2026, and it was the director's cut. So that's funny. Ronan, what about you?
I'm gonna actually put it at a 8.59 out of 10. That's how much fun I was actually enjoying with this film. It was great.
That's cool. Phantom?
That's what I think.
Me being a kid, owning everything from the movie because I fucking love the movie. It's a 10 out of 10 because I love the story. I had all the toys. I had the soundtrack on vinyl. I had cassette. I had on DVD on the CD. Fucking love the movie. Love the actors.
Bryan Adams killed it, man. Bryan Adams killed it.
Like for me, like being a kid, like I went to archery because of Robin Hood, because I love the aspect of like he barely used the sword in his, it's like it's always was, unless it was hand-to-hand combat, he always, like the scene where like they're in the courtyard, he grabs the 2 arrows, rips off the one little thing on the end,
the feather,
yeah,
split shot. And then this scene where like he takes the arrow that's on fire from the
and shoots it into Nagano's face.
The guy that's about to kill Will Scarlet. Like, dude, I just love this movie.
It's a great movie.
I will say I love the way they saved everyone at the end. Like who were like on a noose and all that. John ran into the beam and just knocked it down. I'm like,
I do find that it's kind of convenient that it felt exactly where they could just stand.
Yeah,
just angled enough.
Yeah. But for me, I'm with Phantom. I'm not close to. I'm almost a 10, but 9.5. Man, I just remember enjoying this every time I see it. There's always a fun. Like Alan Rickman just makes this movie phenomenal for me. And it's like I would go 10, but it's just I'm never a 10's got to be an excellent, perfect movie for me.
So
everybody,
I'm kidding.
Men in Tights is 9.7.
Do you have hand?
You have hand.
You have hand.
Damn it! I knew that was gonna haunt me. But we all agree. Like here's the thing. Most of the time, I say that I like these movies. I always give you it's this number, but with everybody watching, it's this number. I don't have that with this. This movie is so good that even if y'all weren't there, I think I would enjoy it just as much.
Yep.
Trust me, everybody. The movie I got these boys because I'm the only one to see it. The movie we're gonna be watching next week. If you guys thought if you guys thought that she was an acid trip, wait till you fucking see the movie we watched Friday night.
Here we go.
That movie, they were on LSD, acid. Hell, they were probably
We'll get into that at the end. We'll get into
acid
that. So
movie.
let me skip on, and we're gonna do our final question because we're almost at an hour and a half.
Yep.
So I always throw y'all a curveball and wanted to do this and just see what everybody would say. If you could drop a different fictional character into Sherwood Forest and replace Robin Hood, who would it be? And with the caveat, they can't have superpowers. So who would you drop into Robin Hood land?
Sinbad.
Nice.
That's a good one, dude.
I don't know why. For some reason I was thinking initially Errol Flynn, but then I remember, well, that's an actor. And the reason why I thought Errol Flynn was a fictional character, I know this is gonna date myself here, but like they do a reference to Errol Flynn in SpongeBob SquarePants. It's the episode where Mr. Krabs what was the episode again? The episode where he gives the hat to that one dumb looking hat to SpongeBob.
Yeah.
And he decides to get rid of it and like basically give it back to Smithy Werbin Jaegerman Jensen, who was number one, as his tombstone himself declares it. Puts the hat back on him, then steals the hat because apparently the hat's like $1 million. And then Smithy Werbin comes back to life, and then he starts fighting a bunch of the dead fish, and he's like, "Look at me, I'm Errol Flynn." So I was like, "Is that like another swashbuckling hero of sorts?" But now I realize he's actually an actor.
Yeah.
But the next
season 2, episode 1, Crab's Trash.
Yeah, that's the one. But then I also realized, wait a minute, swashbuckling. Who else was there that went on all these kinds of adventures? Sinbad. I just remembered that. And I was like, I think Sinbad would work interestingly well in
I'll be honest with you.
Story.
I'll be honest with you. I was kind of thinking, I wasn't thinking exactly I wasn't going to use this, but Aladdin was one coming to my mind too.
Ooh, okay. No,
so I'm kind of with you in that Sinbad Aladdin.
Y'all are gonna find my choice for character a little wild.
Oh, that's not my choice. I'm just saying I was thinking Aladdin.
Captain Jack Sparrow. Captain Jack Sparrow would be
this is character. The tale.
Just because, like, I would love to see like how this drunken man would.
I threw them a curveball in green screen. I admit to you, I said, anybody seen Lethal Weapon? I said Martin Riggs. I would throw Martin Riggs into the world of that and see what he could do.
All right then.
Technically, he did. It's called Braveheart.
True. Okay.
True. So, yeah.
But he did not have fireballs from his arse.
Okay, what about you, Phantom?
For myself, Autolycus from Hercules.
Ooh, Bruce Campbell from Hercules.
Okay.
That'd be interesting. That kind of fits.
The Prince of Thieves. He is the Prince of Thieves with the Prince of Thieves.
Right.
And he has if there's trees there with Sherwood, he has the ability, like he has this thing where he can grapple and hook himself through the forest. That's an interesting take, Phantom.
That's actually, that's.
And
Bruce Campbell would have some great one-liners.
Oh, absolutely.
And you would have to think like he's literally the master of like a bunch of weapons. I mean, I can see him using a fucking bow and a bow staff, and and
you just picked him because he's wearing green.
and something else.
Speaking
he's also a master of disguise. I mean, how many episodes we see of Hercules and he's dressed up with the hood and everything, and he's prosthetics and stuff.
Speaking of master of disguise, no, I'm kidding.
No, we do not speak of the Dana Carvin movie.
I mean, all you have to do with Autolycus, put the hat on, put the quiver on his back with the bow, and he's Robin Hood, because that's what he was in fucking. He stole from the rich and gave to the poor.
Yeah.
All right, then Ash
was Robin Hood.
But that's our show. Let's go ahead and finish out.
All right, everybody. Thank you. And once again, if you have time today, please send your well wishes over there to ABF and just send them your prayers and your love. ABF's going through a lot of stuff. Tuesday, in the Discord, we usually have fun, watch a movie. Can be.
I mean, let's do Men in Tights. I don't care.
Yeah, we'll do Men in Tights. Yeah. Wednesday we'll be doing. We watched 3 different animes, and if you guys haven't watched it, come watch the new Ghost in the Shell anime, because Ronan's been showing that, and we are going to be doing something for that on the channel later on. After
we're watching.
My first time watching animes.
we're watching a freaking Ghost in the Shell, and then what's the that more comedic
Red
Ranger
Ranger.
anime, yeah.
that one's great.
Wednesday is for fun anime now,
Yeah,
though, but
it's
we are going to do a
casual.
video.
It's a casual, yeah.
I wanted to learn about Ghost in the Shell, and Ronan's teaching me about it, so we're gonna do a video on that.
That'll be a lot of fun.
So Thursday, Box Office Brawler is coming back onto the channel Thursday night.
Friend the channel.
Literally.
Friday night, I get to show these guys.
We're doing sci-fi movies next Sunday.
Yeah.
So
yes, we are.
Phantom, tell them what we're doing.
So we're watching Prisoners of the Lost Universe. It was a movie that came out in the early 80s, and we had a bunch of movies to pick from. It's like everybody watched it. They laughed their asses off, and Campy was like, "This is so dumb. I want to see it."
Yeah.
And Saturday night, once again, gaming with the homies, and once again, thank you for the people that turned out last night, watched us last night, have some fun. You got to see the first bit of Evil Phantom, and this coming Saturday, you probably see Sadistic
Phantom.
You might see a little Sadistic Phantom next Saturday night. Ronan, what you got going on?
Yes, for me. So as always, in the description underneath, you can find my link tree where I have, my different, the links where you can find me in the different sites where I'm available. Let's put it that way. I got a YouTube, which is Ronan Crusader. I got a Kick, which is Ronan Crusader. I got an X, which is Ronan_Crusader7, a little different there. And soon enough, maybe, possibly, who knows, we'll see a Rumble, which is Ronan the Crusader. You can catch me tomorrow. Okay, so you can first off catch me tonight, possibly on Nerd Slap's channel for Slapcast. Tomorrow you can catch me on Isaac's show, the Golden Age podcast, or as we like to say, the Golden Shower podcast.
Golden Shower.
Next week, of course, on Saturday and Sunday. This next Saturday, for sure, you will catch me for Gaming with the Homies. Past Saturday, wasn't able to do it, but that's fine. We're busy with some things.
He was playing Power World.
Probably.
I don't have a problem. I'm not addicted, okay? I can
Ronan
quit it
was
anytime
there.
I want.
Ronan was there. He was just someone else.
I can't quit.
He was playing with his Power World Turtles.
I like turtles. I mean, there are maybe one or two pals in that game that are turtles, but anyways, we're not talking about that. Next week,
you got an addiction, sir.
Next week, you can catch me with these chuckle fucks here for Gaming with the Homies and Matinee with the Homies, where we're going to be talking about sci-fi movies, of course. And on my own channel, whenever I get the chance to, whenever I got time, because sometimes life just gets in the way. But when I can, you can catch me streaming Resident Evil Requiem still. And then after that, I'll still be playing Claire Obscure Expedition 33. And then from there, plenty of new games coming out, plenty of old games that are still kind of new that I'll play. So tune in to find out. Subscribe.
To the better producer, Atomic, what you got going on?
Oh man, I got my channel, Atomic Patriot, where I upload Monday through Fridays, and yeah, I'm gonna be doing a weekly review of the Lantern Show. That's gonna be a nightmare. Which comes out later tonight, and
I will not be joining you for this.
No.
Starfleet Academy, you got me in. They not get me here.
Yeah, that's fair. But
No.
I'll be doing the weekly review of that. I am gonna be having a few guests on for my interview series, which I haven't done in like about a month now, and also I'm on Critic List, where I do occasional movie reviews, and on X, where I offend a lot of people, and I'm also on Kick, where I still do nothing. It's about as active as Ronan's Rumble account. But you can also find me every Saturday and Sunday playing games with the homies, and being here on Matinee, and also Sundays Slapcast with Nerd Slap, and
By the merch.
yeah, buy the merch, buy the Don't Be Gay Phantom shirts.
Yes.
Campia, what you got going on?
Y'all know me. I am M. Campy fan. I am M. Campy U fan. I am the Sugar Honey Iced Tea member of the GCA and the For the Homies. I'm not the shit meme king, though. That's this faggot up here in the corner. You can find me on X. You can find me on Criticless. You can find me here every week with the homies, where we do all our shows that we've already discussed. And hopefully we'll see you for Matinee, as well as the gaming, as well as the main show, the For the Homies podcast. Back to you, Phantom.
All right, thank you, everybody, and we'll see you guys Thursday night for the Homies Podcast. I am Phantom X, and we'll see you guys Thursday night. And before we leave, I have to say this. I did get to say this for the last couple of nights. Don't be gay, camp ya.
Don't be gay, Phantom.
Don't be
Ronnie,
French
Don't be
AP.
Phantom. Don't be Phantom.
Don't be Phantom.